The New York Rangers have made multiple moves ahead of their next game where we will see Matt Rempe make his return to the lineup. We have a very surprising injury update and some other pretty interesting lineup decisions from Peter Laviolette that may have Rangers fans fired up. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Rangers Digest, but before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 74% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if you want to stay up to date with everything New York Rangers, it's free. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, of course, second video of the day, we got some more news coming down with the Rangers making some interesting moves and some moves that I didn't think were coming quite yet. And we will get to Matt Rempe, don't worry, but we will start with Louis Domingues has been assigned to the Hartford Wolfpack. Now, this means only one thing. Igor Shesterkin will be checking back in and has been activated. He will return to the lineup tonight. Not only return to the lineup, but he will start tonight, according to Elliotte Friedman. So he's returning to the lineup, and he will start. And obviously, Friedman had some other tidbits about returning goalies as well. But Peter Laviolette, this is from Larry Brooks, Igor Shesterkin in net tonight. That is confirmed. And one thing that wasn't confirmed that I talked about in my video earlier this morning is when the Rangers skated today, it looks like Rempe and Kaliev will both be in the lineup and Hedl will remain out. We'll have an update in Hedl later on in the video. I want to touch on that, but Matt Rempe will make his return to the lineup tonight, and that is very interesting. I'll touch on Kaliev first. We'll get to Rempe and spend some time there, but Artemi Kaliev, no surprise that he's going to make his New York Rangers debut tonight. I think this is a very dynamic player who was waiting for a better opportunity that he was not getting with the Los Angeles Kings. He's going to get this with the New York Rangers. He's a shoot-first type of guy. I think he's going to be shooting everything from everywhere tonight, so it's going to be an exciting game for the Rangers, and obviously facing a rival in the New Jersey Devils, so it should be a fun game. I'm very excited to see what Artemi Kaliev does. But Jimmy Vesey and Zach Jones will be the scratches tonight. Zach Jones, 7th consecutive game as a healthy scratch. Jimmy Vesey will come out of the lineup for Matt Rempe. I don't know if that's too much of a surprise. It was looking like Matt Rempe was going to remain a scratch, but the fact that they called him up to serve the last game of his suspension last game, so then it fell on a game against the New Jersey Devils, told me, there's something in the back of my head saying, I think Peter Laviolette's going to put this guy in the lineup for this game, but let's hope he doesn't do anything too crazy. And speaking of which, pre-game today, Matt Rempe was interviewed, and obviously we touched on this in the video earlier, but talks about taking a more careful approach as he gets ready to return from suspension tonight, and he's going to have to. There's a lot of eyes on this game and this player. I mean, he just came off of an 8-game suspension. The league's going to be watching. The entire, I'm talking about league executives. The entire league is going to be watching this to see if he does anything crazy. And he went on to say that, only make hits, and this is him talking about his game, and tonight specifically, only make hits if I know they're going to be a clean hit, a good hit. If it's any way in doubt, I feel like I would veer on the side of caution right now because, like I said, I'm a marked man right now, so I got to keep it clean. And I mean, it's not right now. You're not a marked man right now. You're a bigger body. You have a bigger frame than 99% of the National Hockey League. You got to keep it clean. Make sure you're making the right plays and continue to be useful. In his last game, I thought he had a great game. So besides the hit, right, where he got suspended. But I think that he can have some use. Just focus on his game and don't worry too much about getting into the extracurriculars. Although I think there is going to be some room for extracurriculars tonight because Matt Rempe is confirmed to be in. And there are whispers, there are rumblings of Curtis McDermott going to be in the lineup as well for the New Jersey Devils. So it's going to be a night in New York tonight at MSG. Obviously, there could be a rematch of what happened the last time these two met. So these two specifically, these players met. So I think that could make some for some interesting fireworks tonight. So Matt Rempe back in the lineup. And you know what? He's right to a degree. I mean, he has to, you can't hit guys who are turning. You can't hit guys from behind. You're bigger than everybody else. You have to learn how to play that style of hockey in the NHL level or at the NHL level. In the NHL, I should say, and he hasn't done that yet in his career, and he's going to have to figure that out. And the coaching staff, I think, needs to rein him in a little bit and be in his ear a little bit too. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. Hopefully he doesn't do anything too reckless, but I can't say I'm not excited to see if there are some fireworks that happen tonight between him, McDermott, obviously Rangers, Devils. It should be very exciting. Now, in terms of the injury front and some updates there, Filip Chytil left the last game with an injury, an upper body injury. When Peter Laviolette was asked about the injury and if it's related to any previous injuries like some concussion issues, anything like that, Peter Laviolette he didn't decline, and he didn't, say for sure that it's not concussion issues or anything that he's dealt with in the past, but he did say that he is progressing. And then this morning, Filipino was on the ice ahead of the optional morning skate. So he will not play in the game today. This is a good sign, although we don't know exactly what happened to him. And again, Peter Laviolette is not giving anything for us. At this point, it's all speculation. If it is related to previous concussion issues or anything with his upper body, it's just labeled as upper body. So we don't know exactly what's happening. But the fact that he's on the ice and shooting around is a good sign, and we may see him sooner rather than later. And a couple other updates in terms of tonight. Just finished with Peter Laviolette's media availability. Shesterkin is starting, as we mentioned. Matt Rempe back in the lineup. Arthur Kaliev will dress for the first time as a New York Ranger. Filipino was on the ice this morning for the optional skate. And Laviolette, said that this is a good thing. So it's a good sign. Seems like he is progressing. I think, if you're a New York Rangers fan, you know how good and how dynamic Filip Chytil can be when he gets into games. We've seen it this season. We've seen it in seasons previous. Obviously dealt with a lot of concussion issues last year, so that is a bit of a concern. But when he's in the lineup, when he's healthy, he is such a great player. One of their best centers right now. Still a young player in this league. Has a lot to learn still, but such a great player. And earlier this season was on one of the most dynamic lines in all of hockey when Capo Caca was still on the team in terms of 5-on-5 play. So I want to see this guy get back. I want to see him healthy, back in the lineup, rolling, and it looks like he's progressing to that. So it's going to be a very interesting game. The New York Rangers get their starter back in net. Obviously, Domingues has been sent down. He served his purpose down to the Hartford Wolfpack. Jimmy Vesey is coming in. Jimmy Vesey is sitting for this game. Zach Jones is also sitting. I think that's going to be something very interesting to keep an eye on too as the next couple games and days progress in the weeks, because Zach Jones has been granted permission to speak to other teams regarding a trade. So I think that's very interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. Would you keep Zach Jones? Would you let him walk? I think that you should keep Zach Jones. I think he's a very good defenseman. I think that he's only going to get better. He's still young. A lot of people forget how young he is and how little time he's spent in this league, and he's only going to get better if he plays. So I feel like that is something as well. Let me know what you think about Matt Rempe and what Matt Rempe is going to do in this game tonight. And hopefully he keeps it clean. Hopefully, they put on a bit of a show and the Rangers win. That would be nice, but has potential to have some fireworks. Could get ugly, but hopefully he keeps it clean. Let me know what you think about Filip Chytil returning hopefully soon to the lineup, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Doesn't look like it is. He's back skating. It's a good sign, but I'll definitely keep you up to date here on the channel regarding any Filip Chytil updates over the next couple of days or games. He's back on the ice, so that is very encouraging. It looks like he could be close to making a return, which is good. We didn't even see what happened to him, right? And hopefully it's nothing related to concussion issues that he was dealing with last year and in the past, because that would be tough. This is a very, very good player when he plays. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.